When we get through this, then it's gonna be different. Promise you, it's gonna be different.
So Kellan, I have a question for you. So there's a very big difference between Aussie film budgets and American film budgets, obviously. And I know that this one, they basically work to a shoestring. And you've been on things like Hercules, you've done the Twilight Saga. I think you're in Expendables 3 as well, weren't you? Yeah, that was pretty boss, I bet.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Did you throw any tanks out of planes?
Tanks out of planes, no. But I jumped my motorcycle 4 stories. That was pretty
I'm sorry, so you actually did it?
Yeah, they let me do it once. And it's the coolest thing, because I ride.
Right.
Being able to take it up, and you're suspended, you have the harness there. So it engages once you're up 50 feet. But the trust of just flooring it the whole time and making sure you're looking straight up. And then you drop the bike and it's just... That's why I love shooting outside of America. We shot that in Bulgaria, so you can have some more freedom there.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But working on a budget that doesn't have the same amount as it normally would to say something of a Hollywood film, what was that like? Was there a big difference?
You know what? I don't get Hollywood. It's a business. It's a money maker. But there's movies for $200 million that look like crap, and then you have movies like our movie, which we had a very little budget. And it looks like a $200 million budget movie.
It does, it's amazing.
So it's one of those things where it's like, where does the money really go?
Yeah.
And how is it being spent? And that's why I love working here in Australia, because everyone that Shane pulled strings from and asked as a favor, they did it out of the love for him as a director. They did it out of the love. I did it out of the love of working with him. I mean, I've been a huge fan of Shane, and I've been wanting to work with him since I first met him 5 years ago. So when he got the script and he wrote it and told me about it, I was like, yes, I finally get to work with you. I don't care. In Australia, even better.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The budget really just matters who you have working with you, and everyone from day one. We worked long hours, we didn't push our calls, we did whatever for the rest of the film, and everyone did that.
Yeah, well, he's one of those directors that gets you to live the character a little bit, isn't he? Yeah. How was that for you guys? How was that for you?
It was really interesting.
I bet you would have just showed up to set and everyone would have been like fully immersed in these characters.
Like I wasn't even called Tegan for like that whole filming time. Month and a half. I wasn't Tegan, I was Indy. And it was interesting also after filming to see everyone in their not character. Like Dan, for instance, Kane wasn't anything like him really. So when we saw him for the first time after filming, I'm like, oh, thank God, he's a really nice guy.
That's awesome. And how did you find, I've noticed that a lot of directors will get you just to constantly redo things, especially if they don't really believe the performance. Were there any moments where you were like, I'm exhausted, I'm done, I can't do this anymore, and they just kept pushing you to those extra limits? How was that?
Well, there was a particular scene in the back of a bus where they kind of ambushed me with some method, and they kind of...
I think Shane may have told me about this one. Yeah.
Because I was exhausted, because you know how it's emotionally exhausting.
It is.
And physically.
Yeah, and physically too. So we were doing the scene and I just wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
I was too tired. I couldn't really get the emotion anyone.
You were still doing really well.
But I just couldn't get the emotion that he quite wanted.
Yeah.
So then Dan started talking in his Australian accent and just started being completely real and honest with me.
Yeah.
And I just burst into tears.
Yeah, I know exactly the scene you're talking about.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
You had me. I was literally sitting there, and I think I was actually sitting next to a distributor because I was watching it over in LA, and he was taking it very seriously, and I was just trying really hard to keep my cool, and then I just lost it with you. I was like, oh my God, stop. She's so emotional. It was really beautiful, man. And what about you guys? Do you think this is probably one of your best performances? Because I got to say, I've seen a lot of your different roles now, and this was probably by far one of my favourite performances I've seen out of either of you guys. It was pretty incredible.
It's definitely my favourite work of Kellan's.
Yeah?
I think it was really strong, really amazing, and for everyone though. Like Shane really pushed us,
Yeah.
and we all pushed each other too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think working on this one was just so different from, I mean, for a lot of the commercial things that we do as actors, where you have to stand here, you have to say it this way, you don't have a lot of liberty to just make it your own.
And be free in it.
And when you're hired because you brought something unique to the role.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
a lot of times you don't get to show that. So for this one, this has definitely been the most rewarding acting project I've done. Probably my most proudest work.
Yeah.
And working and seeing everyone just step out and take the risk with the biggest safety net, because we are such a tight family on set that it's beautiful to watch people do their thing.
Yeah,
And
totally.
take that permission, like give
Yeah.
themselves that permission to really go there.
Yeah, totally.
And
What would be the funniest moment that you had on set? Most embarrassing, funniest, any
what
of the
about
above?
that time where we were not quite getting it in the bus, and then you just swore really loudly?
I really did.
You just picked me up.
Go my God, resetting.
Yeah.
It was the end of a long day, and,
Okay.
and we all knew that Indy needed a little, like, us to push her in a little wave. And so Jip lost her shit on Megan, and it was good. It was,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was really
Nice.
funny because we were like joking in the back of the bus,
Yeah.
and then just because Isabel's so kind and sweet, and then she just swore really loudly, and we're like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
serious again."
Yeah.
And the great thing about it, like we did a lot of improv. Like like Shane would say, all right, this one, do whatever you want to do, you know, because like it. So then we just do funny different things. Like Kane Daniel would start singing. He had this sign.
Yeah.
In the film.
I don't think it ever, like, there's a lot of stuff that didn't make it in the film that was just
Yeah.
hilarious, but obviously it couldn't because we were just being goofballs.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just went,
And then like with the monsters,
They're great, by the way.
Yeah.
They make me so happy.
we had some
Yeah.
fun with
Great.
them when people weren't in the costume.
Oh yeah, because they were actual animatronics as well, right? They weren't just like CGI. So,
Yeah.
did you guys ever get inside them?
No.
Oh.
I didn't.
Yeah. I mean,
Dwayne would have been pretty upset if we did.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson was.
Yeah.
he's the monster, and
Oh
so
my
we
God.
kind of had this
Right.
this
It was
like.
amazing.
We don't like the monsters. Dwayne doesn't like us, and he would go around set. He'd sleep there at night. He'd go like all these weird.
yeah.
And this is when he
Dinosaur.
wasn't in the monster
No.
thing. He
He's
was
just trying to
just
mess
like
with
that
us like a
full
pack of
stop.
wolves,
If he
and
was
he
that, yeah.
Just trying to scare.
So
And we're like,
Yeah, it
let's
was,
go mess with the faces.
Yeah. That would have worked though. That would have been really great. No acting required.
Oh,
Yeah,
NAR,
but
my friend.
He was full method, and that's off to him. He
Yeah.
did amazing.
remember Paul Winchester on the first day at lunch. I was like, oh cool, now I'll actually get to connect with this guy who's playing this crazy character that doesn't speak.
Yeah.
And at lunch he just stayed in it, and he was just like gazing at me with these like sexy eyes and trying to like be
Creepy.
freaky.
Sexy.
Like he was so freaky.
Right.
And he didn't go out of it until the end of the day. And then I was just got to talk to him. Same with
Yeah.
you, Dan.
Wow.
And I got to, which I loved. 'cause,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Did you guys have to take time off after the film just to like recalibrate and go back to being like your own human being again? Or have you kind of taken parts of your character with you and just decided they're there now and that's
love her.
okay?
I love my character.
Yeah.
And I did like a little completion ceremony thing for her.
Did
but
you?
I do that always with my characters.
Oh, that's cool.
But her one I really wanted to keep a bit more before
Yeah.
I let it go.
I have to say it's probably one of the most unique characters I've seen you play so far. Like really different, and it would have been really challenging for you to play that role. So
It was scary at
Kudos to you.
first, but it was so fun. Thank you.
yeah, no, you absolutely nailed it, man. Like all three of you did. It was incredible. In fact, I don't think there was a single performance out of the entire film where I was like, didn't believe that moment. Like everyone really came together as a team. So
The cool thing about Chip's role is that Izzy got a creator. Like where the tattoos go, what tattoos, how do you want the hair? So it's fun to see like your vision, because know you from, well, I mean, I know your acting work, but when we worked together on Immortals, you're playing a goddess, Athena. And I just, you know, everything there, and now you get a.
Yeah, I literally was like, I wanted to have a gold tooth. I wanted to be covered like in tattoos and shave the head and just be so fucked up because she would want to look like a guy, kind of, you know. There was a lot, and literally every physical tattoo I was like, had a
you had a story for.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
So
man.